Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. This is your daily market outlook for today. It's Monday, the 17th of March. So let's get straight into it. Obviously, this week is going to be a big week. As you guys can see from my screen, we've got heavy news week. So again, last week was very consolidated with the major pairs and the US dollar. So I think this week we can pretty much, agree that we're going to obviously have a lot of movement inside of the markets. If I just get rid of even just this and focus on the red folder news, you'll be able to notice that. Look how much red folder news we've got this week. So expect volatility and also expect to be patient with inside of the markets again. As I always say, and I said it last week, this is the thing about trading is, you never just want to be able to just rely on just trading. Even if you make thousands and thousands and thousands, you want to make sure that you're of course, having that backup because you could have bad weeks, slow months, slow, 2 months. So obviously got to make sure that you guys are, obviously looking at multiple streams of income. Now, before we do get into the charts, I'm just going to quickly share my screen as always. And just explain to you guys that this content on the channel is for educational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing shared in my videos should be considered financial or investment advice. So understand that you should always conduct your own research before making any financial decisions. So yeah, man, obviously focus on yourselves with this, and just take this as an for educational purposes. So, yeah. So let's share the chart again and let's get straight into it. This should be a short one just because obviously there's not much moving inside the markets as of today with news obviously happening. We've got US dollar news at 1:30 today. So let's get straight into the major pairs. Before we do, as always, let's start off with the US dollar. So if we look from a higher time frame, again, we have just been inside this daily demand area for quite some time with the US dollar. As we talked about every single day last week, we have this range from here to here, whilst we're inside of this daily demand. So again, we're expecting some sort of movement. Is that movement going to be down? Is that movement going to be up? We will see this week. So again, be patient. If we look from a 4-hour perspective, there's not much that we can go by. We're pretty much just, like I said, sideways movement. So I can't give any advice on, whether to look for the buys or look for the sells just as of right now. So let's see how she plays out in regards to today. So that's your US dollar. Let's look at the Euro USD, and it's pretty much the same scenario. So again, as we mentioned, if we look at the daily time frame, you'll notice that we've got this daily higher low and this daily higher high, same as last week, and we are also in this daily and 4-hour supply. Now, same scenario, if it was to come, down to fill this imbalance and mitigate this demand, we would need to see, this low broke, which I'll show you in a sec, in order to sell. But as of right now, from a Euro USD perspective, you can see that demand is in control. Demand was in control here. Demand is in control here. We're now having a break up. Obviously, my next demand area would have been this demand area here. So demand is in full control, and that is what you guys have to understand. In order to participate in this, we'd need this higher low on a 4-hour broke. So we would need to see bam, and then that would allow us to then potentially sell downwards in this. So keep an eye on that. Of course, I like to refine my entries like I have done on here. To this be my demand, that's where the imbalance is. But again, if you wanted to cover this whole area, you'll notice that that is a full demand area which we're reacting from. But for me, I do like to refine it for better risk to reward trades. So same scenario with GBP USD. Exactly the same. We're obviously in this daily supply zone as we speak, whilst also having this daily range from this higher low to this higher high. Again, if we was to look for sells, we need this low to be broke here in order to then look for the sells down into this daily demand. As of right now, we're not getting that currently. And then if you look from a 4-hour perspective, you'll be able to notice that this is our 4-hour higher low, and this is our 4-hour higher high. I think I said last week, in order for me to participate in this, I would want to see this 4-hour demand be my main demand, and then using these as liquidity. But obviously we are in this demand area. We have now took this low, and we are now moving away. So could we see that potential higher high on this? A bit interesting to see. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the GBP USD. Let's see obviously how she plays out. AUD USD pretty much the same. If you look from a daily perspective, you can see that we've got obviously this. Well, let me give it that. We've got obviously this higher high, this obviously low. This is where our daily change of trend was. So obviously as of right now, we've mitigated this 4-hour demand area. So if I just cut down. So you'll be able to notice that we've mitigated this 4-hour demand area. And then we've pretty much, obviously come down, like failed to tap into this demand, but then we got this moving away, failed to tap into this demand, but we did just fill in the imbalances. If you look from this perspective, we just filled in the imbalances. So yeah, obviously if you look, we have this 4-hour higher low and this 4-hour higher high. Now you can see the market has been trending downwards, and now we've had that break above here. So for now, my 1-hour range would be from here to here. So of course, if I was to expect the market to retrace, I'd want to see a range met from here. So if I was to get a Fibonacci, for instance, I'd be looking for my demand area below the 50%, in and around the 786 and 886. So if you look at this, you'd probably be able to see that we've got, this level of demand that we could potentially come into. Okay, let's give it that. Yeah, so I was looking at potentially coming into like this area here, and then obviously seeing that market move away for AUD USD. But it looks pretty bullish on here, and looks like we're going to get that bullishness. But again, we are heavy in news this week, so just be very aware of that. Okay, so same thing it looks like for NZUSD. You'll be able to notice that, we've obviously had this daily change of trend. We've come down, and now we're starting to move away from here. So pardon me, we're obviously having a daily break of structure here. So with that being said, what we want to wait for, this will end up becoming our valid. This will end up becoming our valid. In fact, keep that there, get rid of the daily. This will end up becoming our valid daily higher low, which will be here. In fact, we could probably go from this part here, to be fair. And this will end up being our daily higher high. So this will be a break, and then eventually we'll expect to come into this daily demand. So I'm not going to talk too much right now about NZUSD, just because we had that movement up. But what I'm basically trying to say, let's get rid of this, is because we're having this daily break of structure, what I can expect going into this week is, let's say we're getting the bullishness now, and then we've got this daily demand here. We probably obviously have a 4-hour demand inside this. We could potentially have this expecting then to carry on upwards for NZUSD. So be interested to see how news makes this react. Then obviously going to USD CAD, you'll be able to notice that it's been a bit ugly, to be fair. It's been not a bit, it's been very ugly. If you look at it from a 4-hour, you can see that we're finally getting that movement away from here. If you look at the 4-hour structure, we obviously had higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, mitigated this 1-hour supply. And then from there, we had this 4-hour change of trend. So we now retraced into this 1-hour supply, and now we're getting this move away from here. So for me personally, with the 4-hour, if we can break this, and then obviously let's say we get a break, eventually we're going to wait for a retracement, up into this area somewhere, and then we'll wait for that sell-off. So again, you're going to hear me keep saying, let's focus on just this news today and the rest of the week, and see if we can open up some opportunities for us. But yeah, I don't like USD CHF. We didn't react from this 4-hour supply. We're reacting from here, so it's not something that I'd look to be selling from, because we have imbalance here, and we have a fresh 4-hour supply area. So USD CHF is not something that I'm interested in as of right now. Looking at USD Japanese yen, I talked about these areas obviously last week. You'll be able to notice, of course, we tapped into this, supply area, and then obviously had this movement away. It induced early sellers. Now we've come up, we would have tapped out anyone stop loss there. And now what I'd be waiting for is, can we get this low broke? So if we can get this low broke, then obviously that opens up opportunities for us to look for sell opportunities to target this 4 hour daily and weekly lower low. So that is what we're waiting for, USD Japanese yen. And that is your major pairs for today, guys. Let's see how the news reacts obviously today, and then we can obviously make decisions based from the news and what we think is best for us. So yeah, very short video today. If you've got any questions, feel free to obviously put them questions in the comment section below. But yeah, make sure you got your notifications button on, and make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel if you are enjoying these daily market outlooks. But other than that, guys, take care and God bless.